This is Jeff Flessner, RAMVAC Tech Service. This presentation will cover the maintenance of the RAMVAC vacuum systems. On the Bulldog and Bison vacuum pumps, there's an S1 Electrals control box. Within the software of the S1 Electrals, there's a 1,000 hour maintenance counter. When the machine has hit 1,000 hours of runtime, the maintenance light will light up. This does not affect the machine running, but will blink a low voltage lighted remote switch to give an indication it's time to check the machine. The first 1,000 hours averages about 6 months, and the procedure is to inspect the machine, check the air filters, check the oil level, the drip rate, visually inspect the dry belt, and make sure everything is okay. The second time the maintenance light comes on at 2,000 hours or once a year, the main service needs to be done, which would be replacing the outside vacuum controller air filter, the inside main air filter, the oil filter element, and replacing the oil. At this time, you'd want to also inspect the drive belts and replace if necessary. The maintenance light has to be manually reset by inserting a pencil or pen into the little hole on the side of the S1 Electrals. The Bulldog and Bison vacuum pumps have 2 air filters that need to be changed annually. The outside vacuum controller air filter filters the air coming into the vacuum unit from the mechanical room. Below that is the main inside air filter that filters the air coming from the operatories before it enters the pump. To change the filters, remove the black nut on top of the vacuum controller filter. If there is a green plate and foam filter, this will be discarded and it will be replaced with the new paper style filter. Install the new paper filter in place, put the nut back on the top, and at this point grab the entire vacuum controller assembly and lift it off the pump. Below this will be the main inside air filter. It is advised to wear gloves when taking this filter out because there could be operatory waste in the filtrals area. Reach inside the filtrals and remove the main inside air filter. On the Bulldog, it'll be in the upper left corner. You will slide it over and lift it out of the hole. On the Bison, it will lift straight up out of the filtrals. If your pump has a foam style filter like this, it will be replaced with the new paper style filter. Insert the new filter into the filtrals air box. On the Bulldog, slide it clear up into the upper left corner. On the Bison, set it straight down into the filtrals. Then replace the vacuum controller back on top of the filtrals air box. On the Bulldog, if the main air filter is not inserted fully up into the left corner, the vacuum controller will not seat properly. On the Bulldog and the Bison vacuum systems, there is an oil filter element. It is located underneath of the oil reservoir in the little silver can. The upper part of the oil filter element is a check valve which stays in the bottom of the oil reservoir. This allows you to unscrew the oil filter cup and not have oil run out of the reservoir. The check valve will snap shut. You can remove the little cup which has the oil filter element in it and will be full of oil. This oil needs to be poured out, the filter removed. The filter can be cleaned or replaced. The cup needs to be wiped out. The filter reinserted into the cup. It is a good idea to add some oil to the filter before screwing it back on to speed up the air purging process. Screw the filter back on, it'll push the check valve open and the oil from the oil reservoir will run back into the filter and the system will be ready to go. When changing the oil on the RAMVAC vacuum pumps, the oil drain tube is located in the right lower corner of the oil reservoir. There will be a brass drain valve with a clear tube with a black plug in the end. Remove the black plug from the drain tube, install your collection jar, open the valve and let the oil drain out. The vacuum unit can be left running while doing this, which will speed up the process of getting the oil out of the oil reservoir. When it gets close to being drained, you'll see air blowing out of the oil drain tube, and this is when you would want to shut the machine off. Turn the quarter valve turn to the off position. Wipe the end of the drain tube out and reinsert the black plug so oil does not drip out and make a mess. To pour oil into the RAMVAC vacuum pumps, on top of the oil reservoir is a black cap. Remove the black cap and this will allow access into the oil reservoir to pour the oil in. Bulldogs will take up to 3 quarts of oil and the Bisons will take up to 5 quarts of oil. It's very important to watch the sight glass and get the proper oil level in the sight glass. The recommended oil is Mobil 1 15W50 synthetic. To inspect the drive belt, when you're looking at the front of the belt cover, there's an inspection plate. On the right side of the inspection plate, there are 3 screws. If you remove these 3 screws, 5/16 wrench or socket, and pull the inspection plate off towards you, you'll be able to see the motor pulley and the drive belt. If everything looks okay, reinstall the inspection plate and the machine will be good to go. When you're inspecting the belt, you will probably see some red dust, which is a normal occurrence on all Bulldog machines. It is a reaction between the belt and the pulleys, and it will not hurt anything. After completing all the maintenance procedures of replacing the oil and the air filters and oil filter element, it is important to test run the system for 15 to 30 minutes to make sure that you have a good drip rate, there are no oil leaks, and there are no noises that were not there before. The vacuum gauge should read approximately 7¼ inches of mercury, but could have been adjusted so it would be in a range of 7 to 10 inches. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please call us at RAMVAC Tech Service, 800-572-6822.